Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. And let me say hi to a few people. Like, for instance, Connie Balmer. Hi, Connie Balmer. Lydia Washington, Legs, Gwendolyn Daniels, Rosanna Smith, uh, Sonia H., Berta Sanchez, Annie Bullard, Nabi D. Let's see. Who else do we have? Church Nelly. Okay. And, Kay Castillo. Hi. Dina Nasser. Hello to you. Rochelle Baudreau. Letitia Malone. Beverly Jackson. Honesty Lover. And, Joan Commonwealther. Yvonne Clark. Alita Portress. Hello and welcome. Let's see. Level Up Ladies. Okay. I'm loving these names. Maria Jacobs. John. Oh, okay. I said that already. Um, just say Annie Bullard, Denise Marcus, Rochelle Baudreau. Hello. Dari Wiley. Okay. I think I covered just about everybody that I saw that round. Excuse me. Carolyn Tubbs is here. Nice, nice. Hello. Karen Warner. Okay. So, oh, I tell you what I need to do. Let's alert our friends to Twitter that we're here. Okay. Now streaming. And I was busy as a cat covering up poop, so I didn't even have a chance to. This is so cruel. Why did somebody? Oh my God. I have to share this. This is so shady. It almost seems like something I would have done. And for that reason, I have to share it with you. Thank goodness I was not quite ready because otherwise I would have missed this. And that means you may have missed it too. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Grant me this little extra time so that I can um be a little extra shady. Woo! I'll give you a hint though. This particular person was at the Jubilee, and anyway, it could be a case of mistaken identity, or maybe it's not. Ooh, as the tension builds, right? Okay, shade, shade, and more shade. I love it. Okay, do your thing. Do your thing. Okay. Okay. May 24th. All right, you guys. Just need to do one more thing and then I will be there. Always so much to do. Okay. Oh, the shade. Oh, the shade. I was going to say, oh, the humanity. Well, that too, but still more shade. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Happy Monday to you. So, you know what? I did not know that Juneteenth had been signed into law and that today may be a holiday, or was it yesterday that was okay, so yesterday was Juneteenth, and I believe today is the day that we observe Juneteenth. I think that's how it works out. So either way, um there is a video from the White House, as of course Joe Biden signed Juneteenth into law, and so there we have it. Okay, all right. Hello. Dara Edgehill, hello. Yes, today is a federal holiday. Thank you so much. Level up, ladies. Yes, I knew the holiday was yesterday, but I wasn't quite sure as if it was going to be like one of those, as they say in the UK, bank holidays. Thank you so much, Dina Nasser, for the super chat. And hello to you, Miss. Oh, I'm sorry. Hello to you too, Mr. Barron. Well, thank you, Dina Nasser. Thank you for being here. I don't know what is it about a Monday that makes me feel optimistic. I wonder if the banks are closed. It doesn't matter. I would have to have money for it to even matter. But yes, I wonder if the banks are closed. Okay. So let me bring my slides up and we can get started here. I noticed that Terrell of Terrellism, I noticed he hasn't been on these past few Sundays. I do hope he's well. You guys, but also before I start, may I please say to you all, we need to grow the Sussex Squad community. And one of the content creators who I adore has, how do I put this, has been scrutinized by people as not being um, angry enough, if that's the correct word, or that she hasn't been, in other words, as I have felt the same scrutiny myself, or suffered, if you will, that she hasn't been tough enough on people. And um, I'm going to say again what I've said before. Um, we should never be more angry than Harry and Meghan. Um, we shouldn't. But that being said, you all are entitled to your feelings and your opinions. But I still believe, this is my core belief, that we should never be more angry than they are. And whatever the relationship with the Queen or anybody else in that family, we should follow their lead. If that makes sense, I always think we should follow their lead, um, in terms of the level of how do I say it, contempt that we feel. But you don't have to be angry all the time to make your point. You don't have to be angry all the time to be a very supportive squatty. Or I guess I'm trying to say, please don't attack the other content creators because you're angry about a subject and they don't seem to bring enough heat to it. Um, I've made my position very clear about Dumfries House. As much as everybody has been very critical of Prince Charles as far as Dumfries House is concerned, let me be very fair. I've been to Dumfries House, I've taken the tour, and I spoke to a handful of people in the community surrounding Dumfries House, and they had nothing but praise for Prince Charles. I'm a naturally inquisitive person, and so I asked, what about this Dumfries House? What do you know about it? And they went on to talk about how Prince Charles took this economically depressed area and brought a lot of jobs using his Prince's Trust, and of course, as we later found out, cash for honors. So yes, the money is filthy, dirty, some of it, and some of it is just people who had this need to help preserve this most intact country manor house full of rare antiques that were purpose built for that house, which Charles saw as a worthy cause, and a lot of other like-minded people saw it that way. So I can't, for the sake of being a squatty, say, "Oh, doom and gloom," and all. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be very fair about it. And sometimes people don't want you to be fair. They want you to be angry. They want you to, um, I guess, go after people in a certain way that is to their satisfaction. But for that one, I just had to be fair. No matter where the money came from or whatever, Prince Charles took the initiative and brought jobs to an economically depressed area. So both of those things can be true at the same time. Yes, some of the money may be tainted, and yes, jobs were brought to a very economically depressed community in Scotland. Both of those are true at the same time. And so I would, be a hypocrite myself if I pretend that it was otherwise. So um yeah, okay, Rita White, I understand. You're saying that, Baron, I know who you're talking about. I think maybe that was the trolls trying to create issues. Yeah, that is very possible. I hope it was just the trolls, because the trolls will try to undermine us and try to fill our heads with all types of negative things so that we turn against each other. So, Rita, I am going to say I believe that is probably the case. And thank you for reminding us about that, because that is truly important. So, yes, I hope it was just the trolls making mischief. Um, Having a platform and having people depend upon you to, convey certain things is a lot of responsibility, as I found out, and you always want to try to get it right. I have been scrutinized by some of the squaddies myself, not not by trolls, but by actual squaddies that I had to block them because they were trying to undermine me whenever they felt like I wasn't doing things the way that they wanted it done. And everybody, if you have a smartphone, you have a platform. It's just that simple. If you have a smartphone, you have a platform. And if these things aren't done to your satisfaction, there is room, and we need people to grow this community. And as you know, I've tried my best to help grow the community, to remind people that there are other platforms available, because I'm not everybody's taste, and certainly not everybody's taste all the time, but I only know one way to do what I'm doing. And, um, hopefully more people like it than hate it, or feel comfortable with the platform. But if not, there's other people available. So um, yeah, I listened to that, and it pained me to hear someone try to explain themselves like that. And I do hope that that was just a matter of the trolls. I hope it was. But sometimes some of the squatties can be particularly vicious, and they want to guide your platform. They don't even, I'll put it to you like this: it's a learning curve that goes to having a any social media platform, and some people are just too impatient to give you a chance to evolve. Now, I have been very blessed because most of the people on Royal Sussex have watched the channel grow and have been very supportive, but there still has been a few and people that might actually surprise you that have been particularly nasty and vicious. And so I just don't have anything to do with them, because, as they say, never allow someone to steal your joy. Okay, so that being said, thank you so much, Alma Andrews, for the super chat. I'm sorry, for the super sticker. Thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Monday to you. But go ye into the world with peace, I pray, everyone. Um, Please try not to be angry all the time. Yes, we want to make sure that we are supporting our faves, but we also need to support each other and give people with platforms a chance for their channel to grow. Give them a chance. I I have like almost probably about 550 videos um, of consistent support for the Sussexes. And even when it was 300 videos, I was really taken back by the idea that someone just told me point blank, I listen sometimes, but I'm not a subscriber. In other words, I like you, but I don't like you. So it's weird, and you'll be amazed at how people seem to have no filter when they say certain things to you or treat you a certain way as though you're not even a person. Let's see. Devani Gordon, thank you so much for the super sticker and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Monday to you. Uh, and let me see. I saw something else out the corner of my eye. Thank you so much. There's a super chat. Loading the dishwasher and listening, recovering from the big C. The pandemic, praise God, no negative energy. That's right. That's right. Thank you so much for that, Therese. No negative energy. Exactly. And yeah, and I really work hard and being positive and optimistic. And some days, like anybody else, I will fall short, but I try to get right back on track and focus on what's really important, like family, friends, and of course, this community. Hello, Lynn. Lynn says, "Hello, Baron. Just watch your short video clip where the Sun newspaper was encouraging the woman journalist to lie about Meghan. She refused after they tried coercing her for 30 minutes. I was upset." Yes, yes, that is pretty jarring. And it was one of those things. I thought everybody had seen that before, but I decided to share it because just on the odd chance that some of y'all haven't seen it, but that really did happen. And it shows you exactly how brutal the tabloid media could be, or not could be, but they are very brutal. And they have a long history of not seeing individuals as people, but just as clickbait or newspaper sales and more or less a commodity. Hello, Karen. Thank you so much for the super sticker and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Monday to you. And wow. Do you guys like sushi? I just happened to catch a photo I took of a sushi platter out of the corner of my eyes. Now I'm making myself hungry. Okay, yeah, I won't show you guys, but good God, that looks yeah, I will. That looks delicious. That looks delicious. I hope you guys want to see it because I will share it with you. I shall. I shall do that. Oh man. I have been kind of like a content creator. Well, what do you call it? A a blogger. I've been kind of a blogger long before that was a word, where I would just take photos of stuff whilst traveling or something like that. And I really need to go through and purge some of these photos I have. But I believe that's a dragon roll. Um, Gosh, I don't know what the other one is. There's a dragon roll. One of them has caviar on top. And sorry for the weird angle of the photo, but uh, woo. Anyway, I was traveling when I took that photo, and I come from a tradition where when I know someone's traveling, I'll usually like give them $20 or whatever I can afford. Do you guys do that when you have friends or loved ones that are going on a trip? Do you like give them money so that they can, not go to Vegas and put this on black, but money so that you can buy them a meal or something when they're traveling? That's something I love to do. Because I love the idea of traveling. Because if you're traveling, you're learning and you're learning more about the world. So I received a gift from a friend of mine who told me, go and have yourself some sushi because I'm usually such a cheap what. I tend to eat a lot of fast food when I travel because I'm like, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. But she's like, have some sushi on me. So that's the tradition that I come from, is that, oh, where are you going? Here's $20. So that's how I was able to do that. Thank you, Phyllis Brooks, for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Juneteenth, officially observed day. Oh, is Miss BSN here? Uh, Hi, Miss BSN. Thanks for being here. I love Miss BSN. Okay, so let me take that food away. Cash is best. Yeah, yeah. Some people, some young people, I always tell young people that if you show me a plane ticket or a plane reservation, I'm gonna help you out because that's like one gift that I would love to give the world as a chance to travel. Is so important. You learn so much more about yourself and others. Okay. Oh, okay. I had to take that away because I'm getting hungry. So there. Well, let's just get right into it. This is where we kind of left off yesterday. Meghan Markle demanding to see the evidence Buckingham Palace finds in this bullying investigation. And then over here, huh, okay, okay, I'll bite. Um, so, Baron, what is the best food you had on your travels? Okay, 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 okay. Let me do this very fast because I am making myself hungry. And here we go. I was in Prague. I went to a restaurant with someone that I met that morning at the hostel, right? And so his name was Ian. His name was Ian. And he's like, okay, this was like back in 2009, I think. He said, I'm going to go and do some sightseeing. Would you like to come with? So we spent a day, met a whole bunch of other people from other countries at the castle palace complex or whatever in Prague. And then it was lunchtime. We went to this restaurant and I ordered a smoked salmon salad on a bed of greens. So no, it wasn't salad. It was just smoked salmon, and it was on a bed of, I want to say, lightly sautéed spinach. And oh my God, it was so good. And then they gave me, they gave us little paper bags that were folded neatly and a dish of butter. And I was like, "Oh, I wonder what's in the bag." Well, it was a baguette, and they sliced it, in quarters, and so that the bread would still be crispy enough so that you can get that crunch into it, but still soft enough in the center where you could have that really delicious baguette, experience. And so that's how they would prep the bread throughout the day is they would bag them so that they would be just crispy enough and just fresh enough that you can slather that butter on it. Oh, and take a bite into it, and it was like a trip to heaven and back each bite. So that was my best travel meal was the smoked salmon on a bed of greens with that delicious, delicious, crispy and yet light and flaky baguette in the paper bag. I'd never seen that done before or since, but that was very, very interesting and very good. So that was my best meal ever whilst traveling was a little restaurant in Prague. And I couldn't name it to save my life today, but yeah, so that was it. And then those little ham sandwiches that they have in Spain. I didn't even know it was ham. I just saw the little sandwich and I probably ate probably 20 of those things. No, yeah, I probably ate like 20 of those in a 2-week period. I love those little ham on bread, just ham on bread sandwiches in Spain. Um, yeah, that was good. So, all right, let me stop talking about food because I'm making myself hungry. Ah, okay, okay, that's enough about food and the delicious smoked salmon on a bed of lightly sautéed spinach. Okay. Croatia? No, but I wanted to go there, gentle kisses. I wanted to go to Croatia. ever since my childhood, when of course everything behind the Iron Curtain was so forbidden, anything that seemed Eastern European attracted me because it was like so forbidden. So that's why I went to Prague and Budapest, was because plus I saw that movie The Unbearable Lightness of Being with Daniel Day-Lewis. When I saw that movie and it featured Prague, I was like, and I saw that movie back in the 80s, and it took me until 2009 before I actually reached Prague. So um, dream it, believe it, and then just do it. If you always wanted to go someplace, don't worry about a language barrier. Don't worry about anything. Just buy the ticket. My theory is if you buy the ticket, you will go. I repeat, if there's some place that you've always wanted to visit, just buy the ticket. Buy the ticket far in advance and then just go. Do it. Okay? Do it. You won't be sorry. You can have some amazing experiences like that. Okay, Lydia Washington, Baron, you go to places where people will come for you. Better visit the Caribbean. Yes, I know. I really do need to do that. And I had swore that I would never. I said I don't like tropical places. I don't like tropical places, right? And people are like, you need to go to an island somewhere. And I'm just like, well, Manhattan is an island, right? Manhattan is an island. It's an urban jungle and an island and all those things, right? So that was me being sarcastic, of course. But when I finally went to a tropical place, I went to Cancun for the first time back in 2018, and I believe is well, if you guys remember, Nathan did the interview with me that time. Well, he interviewed me for Royal Sussex. Well, anyway, Nathan's always encouraging me to travel, so I didn't say anything to him. But he woke up one morning, and all of a sudden, his phone was full of images of me smiling and grinning in Cancun. He couldn't believe it. He was like, "No way." I was like, "Way." So that was my first like island tropical, well, it wasn't an island, but a tropical experience. And then I went to Hawaii, and that was like the only time I went someplace tropical outside of Florida. So uh I see those eye rolls. You guys know you love me talking about my little trips here and there. So anyway, let me let me get back to what we're supposed to talk about. Um, but yeah, so thank you guys for the questions. And let me see there. I never had a negative experience in Europe. I had way more negativity in the U.S. CMAC, let me see. Have I had a bad experience in the US? I'd have to think about that. But for the Joan Commonwealth, are you too? And Crystal J, you too? Myra, you all turning against me for my vast travels abroad. And Church Nelly, need I remind you, one of these days your eyes are going to get stuck like that. But Uh, yes, Lorna. Sometime. Oh, let me tell you one of the most exotic places. Hi, B10 pal. B10. You're just in time. I've been talking about travel, and everybody just loves it, especially Church Nelly. But do you remember that scene in Bridgerton where they were on the steps of that little tea house? It's called the House of the Four Winds or something like that. That's at the Castle Howard. Um, anyway, I've actually been there. I when I walked the grounds of Castle Howard. So when I saw it in Bridgerton, I recognized it immediately. Uh no, I haven't been to Pakistan. I would like to go there. I would like to go to every continent. And what is there, like some 300 plus countries? I would love to do that. That would be so cool if I could fill up my passport. Uh, yeah, and actually, I'm on my third passport. Okay, you guys, there's 1,000 people. I say we get started. Do you guys know we spent 30 minutes already? Okay, so Meghan Markle is demanding to see the evidence of the Buckingham Palace. Well, anyway, from the Buckingham Palace. Oh, I'm not going to do that again. So let's go here. Now, some of these are kind of difficult to see, but there they are. Like, for instance, Palace report on Meghan's bullying has been buried. An investigation into the claims that the Duchess of Sussex bullied members of her staff has led to Buckingham Palace improving the policies and procedures in its HR department, according to royal sources. However, the findings from highly sensitive inquiry, which was paid for privately by the Queen and conducted by an independent law firm, will never be published. That's according to the Sunday Times. It will never be published. It is understood that they will be kept under wraps to protect the privacy or the privacy of those who took part and to limit tensions between the Sussexes and the palace. Courtiers have insisted the inquiry, which was launched in March last year, should not be played out in public to ensure those who took part left felt comfortable rather. Okay, so as Pedo said yesterday, and as you guys know, I love Pedo's energy. Pedo is very passionate about these topics. Um, and Petal has has such when I say Petal, I mean of facts and two cents. She has a very strong sense of fair play. And Petal said, "You've already played it out publicly. So there's no danger of playing this out publicly because you've already done it." And that's true. This has been a matter of public scrutiny because it's played out publicly already. So it's too late to try to pull back and say, "Oh, we don't want to have this to play out publicly. We don't want to cause embarrassment or stress." And you've already done it. So, what in the Jason Knopf do you think is going to make a difference if you, as a matter of fact, I think it's more damaging to not air this publicly because if you have something to say, you should say it. But because we all know that there's no there, there's no possibility that they're going to air something publicly because there's nothing to air except the idea that there was a big lie that took place somewhere in between the mentioning of or should I say, the previews of an Oprah Winfrey special interview with the Sussexes and the actual news release. This whole idea that the Duchess of Sussex is being investigated for being a bully. As we all know, to say that someone is being investigated for something is almost as damaging as the investigation itself or the results of that investigation, should I say. Because when a person is investigated, it may be found that there's absolutely nothing to substantiate the claims. But the mention of an investigation, that never goes away. So every time the tabloids has any story about the Duchess of Sussex where they feel it's necessary to remind people that she's been under investigation for bullying claims, that was a deliberate act to tarnish her name, to tarnish her record, a record which had absolutely no blemishes, one of the most pristine resumes that a person could have, a work record in the industry of entertainment and amongst the various, shall we say, charities that she supported, right up to being a special ambassador for the UN and given a speech at the UN on the same podium that um, Hillary Rodham Clinton used. And so, with all that, there still be that little situation of she has been investigated for bullying by Buckingham Palace. And so, with the named Buckingham Palace attached to it with the idea that the Queen paid for it, it just implies that there's something there. So that's never going to go away. So they can bury it, but if you ask me, the damage has been done. B10 Pal says William, Jason Knopf, and the other liars have no proof against the Duchess of Sussex. Yeah, there is no proof. Um, but don't let the truth get in the way of a good lie. Never let the truth get in the way of a good lie. Okay. Robert Collins says they'll bury the report for now, only to resurrect it if Meghan becomes insufferable. Is another attempt at psychological bullying. I agree with that, Robert. Saying that it's buried doesn't mean that anything has been resolved and that nothing will go away. It's like a little something to hold over their heads just in case they become increasingly popular. So let me do this. Let me do this. I'm gonna go to the let me see which one. I made a video last night, and it's actually a clip from another video, two other videos that I just kind of strung together. And okay, okay. So I'll do this one first. I'll do this one first, and then later on I'll do the. Someone mentioned to Harry, "How dark do you think the baby will be, and what do you think that'll look like?" Now, the person who said it to Harry obviously was interested in shaking Harry to the core by saying this to him. Who would be so malicious to do something like that? I don't know, a sibling? And there's only two of them, but I would say a sibling.
I feel tempted to cry, God for Harry, England and St George, but I really don't want to lower the tone by bringing my brother into it.
So there's always been that tone of negativity from William. Always. William pretends to have a sense of humor, but he does not. Like any narcissist, like anyone who has trouble reading the room, he's not funny. He's not at ease with humor because there's a that is the it, as, when someone accuses you of something, it's probably because that's what someone has called them. That is who they are. That is them. That is their core. And so they would like to um, throw that in your lap and try to make you out to be um, the bad guy. But he's the one with the problem, not Harry. Harry has worked through his mental health, and it's a work in progress. He continues to do that. Harry is able to speak with such authority about mental health and well-being because he's done the work. William has not. It's obvious that William has not done the work. William still believes himself a superior intellect because everyone has told him so. Stephen Black, happy Sunday, squaddies. Well, it's actually Monday, right? I I can't participate today, but I'm thinking of you. Thank you for all that you do, Baron. Thank you, Stephen Black, and thank you so much for the super sticker, or super chat, and thank you so much for the very clever and very cool memes that you made that I have shared with the group. Always appreciated. But yeah, well, thanks for sending the shout out, and I hope you have a very, very productive day. And thanks for supporting Royal Sussex. And before I lose track here, okay, all right, I think I'm good. Oh, it was someone's comment that I wanted to Oh man. Let me see. Okay. Okay, I lost it. I lost it. Miss VSN, that's right. Miss VSN says all their bullying will come to the light as well. It's disgusting. And imagine saying Meghan is not an employee, but then treat her as one by investigating claims of bullying leveled by spaces, bro. But yeah, so it's just like the queen is the ultimate authority when it suits them, and the queen is this frail old lady that the certain people are taking advantage of when it suits them. But she can never be both of those at the same time, and she can never be one of those. It's whichever helps make the case. That's what's important to them. Thank you for your comment, Miss VSN. And Fu, the British royal family have lost face with all the bullying, fake claims, and now a supposed report is being kept closed. Get real, Queenie. Release the report. Yes. Um, Whatever it takes, whatever they have been putting in your tea to relax you and to make you more agreeable, have another sip of it and release that report. Release that port. Maybe that's what it is. It's in her port wine. Okay. I'm scrolling back just a little bit. That was so nice of Stephen Black. I just saw that again. That was so nice for sending a shout out like that. I love that. Okay. Marianne Morris. Oh, that was for someone else. Thank you. And Leg says this entire investigation was mismanaged from the start. You don't interview the people who the report is about. Meghan and Harry weren't even interviewed. Yes. Yes, exactly, Legs. They didn't even talk to them. They didn't even talk to them. That's what is so twisted about that. And we all know that this was simply because of the previews of the Oprah Winfrey interview. And they saw that and just panicked. They absolutely panicked. They went into crisis mode. Um, Suddenly, they lost their grip. It was like fight or flight. They decided, oh, okay, well, we better fight. That's what we've always done. Even if it means that we have to lie, we better do something. Better the only thing better than doing something is seeming like you're doing something in the eyes of the courtiers. So in this case, they tried to make something out of nothing. It oh man, it's no way that you could actually think about it and not get very, very upset. Okay, so take a look there. This is what caused them to lose their ever loving minds. The idea that someone as powerful as Oprah Winfrey would take up their story, would take this story and run it on primetime television in America, a market, a media market, which is so important to them because so long as they have a friend like the United States to help build the prestige of a dying um, a family whose monarchy is in decline, should I say. Um, it frightens them. It frightens them. Black Queen. Oh, that's for Gentle Kisses. Sorry. Man, my business. Rosa M says, is Megan willing to live with this cloud over her head for the rest of her life? I have seen haters jumping onto this and flipping it to look very ugly for Megan. Time to call her lawyers, in my opinion. I agree. The damage is done. The damage is done. And by shelving this report, it only maintains this idea that something has happened and that the Duchess of Sussex is, well, you know what? Let me go on because I have a list of things that have been shared. I won't do that exactly now, but let's look at some more of these slides. So we've seen that one. Okay, palace staff mocked Meghan Markle as Harry's showgirl and Duchess different. bombshell new book. So many vicious nicknames for Meghan, so little time, according to the new book. Well, you guys, um, let's face it, I come up with some doozies when it comes to nicknames, right? But nobody is more clever, more adept at coming up with nicknames than the British tabloid press. Um, you cannot out nickname the British tabloid press. They have many of them, um, and they're clever. You have to admit they are clever. They are very clever when it comes to tearing a person down with the nickname. So you're not going to outdo them. And so hearing that they referred to the Duchess as Harry's showgirl, well, in case you guys have never heard of it, or perhaps you are younger and you have never seen it, the Prince and the Showgirl, that was a movie with Sir Laurence Olivier and Marilyn Monroe. And so it's the long tradition for royal princes to date showgirls. Um, of course, the Duchess of Sussex was an actor, not a showgirl. But back in the vaudevillian days, back in the days when you would go to little neighborhood theaters or go to the theater district in various towns or cities or whatever, you would always have the showgirls. And so the implication that the Duchess of Sussex is a common showgirl is very, very insulting. She's nobody's showgirl. She's always been an actor and not always a working actor, and she's has a double major from a very impressive university, Northwestern, and she worked as an intern at the the American embassy in Argentina. That's not exactly a showgirl. That is someone who values a good education and someone who has always worked in public service of other people, not a showgirl. So that's very insulting, and that was very painful to see something like that in print. And then the other one here, Palace snub, Meghan Markle nicknamed the degree wife by senior royals who claim her marriage will only test. I'm sorry, it will only last 3 years. The degree wife. I hope they're talking about college degree. Because she's the best educated woman in that family. She doesn't have some vanity degree in art history. She actually has a degree that could actually, well, anyway. Um, all right. So much for that. But yeah, she doesn't have a little vanity degree in art history only to go to a museum and look at a Fabergé egg and ask someone, what is that? I grew up in some pretty humble circumstances, but I do know a Fabergé egg when I see one. Oh God. Oh, the humanity. That's all I can say is, oh, the humanity. Lord, save the royal family for themselves because they do know what they're doing, but they are some sick, twisted individuals. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Monday to you. B10 says, Baron, those what say our Duchess is or was Harry's showgirl are just dense, uninformed mortals. Yeah, they knew what they were doing, though. They knew exactly what they were implying when they said that. And they would love to say, and believe me, after paying private investigators, after spending the past what 4 years, 5 years, 5 or 6 years at this point, even before she was married, spending all this time looking into Meghan's past, trying to find anyone who could produce evidence that she is this low class, this trading on her body type of person. I'm trying to avoid the worst ways to put that, but they were trying to make her out to be something seedy and nasty and common, but she's just not. That's not who she is. And try as they may, there's no there there. If there was something to any of that stuff, which is why it's so pathetic that the derangers they keep trying. I think the weird one that I've heard before, one of them is that she's actually 45 years old. So what if she was? I mean, that's not true, but uh, and how in the world would that be possible? And the Buckingham Palace or the various houses of Windsor, how is that possible that she could have been any of the lies that they have told and they didn't know about that before she was married? How is that possible? I mean, they collect dossiers on people all the time. I'm sure they have one for her, but there's just nothing there. And so since there's nothing there, well, we could just make up something. I mean, that's worked in the past, hasn't it? Mm. Meghan's nicknamed Meghan by Kensington Palace staff, Tatler claims. Let me get this straight. The royal family put out a statement with their whole chest about a fake investigation. Now, since there's nothing to show for it, they want to put it under wraps. The royal family lied about Meghan, and the toxic British media continues to harass her. True and true. They lied and they continue to harass the Duchess of Sussex. Malicious, evil spirited harassment. Okay, here goes.
A journalist about how the media inflames this. I was called by the Sun newspaper. If you don't know what the Sun is, it's sort of
got the topless girl on page 3. That's all you need to
and they
know.
called me about a month ago to ask if I'd write about how Meghan was like Wallace and how Meghan was going to destroy the royal family and the arguments between Meghan and Kate. And I said, I'm really sorry, I'm just not privy to all of this. I don't think I could do it. And the commissioning editor was really twisting my arm to write this article and say, but you could say, couldn't you, that X happened, and you could say that she's fired all her staff, and you could say that Kate has said this. And I said, well, I'm really sorry, I don't know that, I can't do it. And this conversation went on for about half an hour, and I didn't write the article, but it just gives you an insight into how this whole thing is being, the flames are being fanned by the media,
You've heard the phrase
view.
cottage industry. This is a palace industry. Yes.
Thank you, Cypher. Thank you so much for the super chat. And again, hashtag the royal family lied, hashtag Meghan and Harry sued successfully. Thank you, Cypher. But yeah, that is. Oh, by the way, and happy Monday to you. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Toxic, toxic British media. Very toxic. It takes your breath away to see how much they're willing to lie about. I'd see how often, should I say, there is no moral compass there. There's no moral compass. And again, this is what falls into play here. The socioeconomic background of journalists, higher socioeconomic backgrounds dominate the media in the UK. and likely here in the United States as well. Lower and middle socioeconomic backgrounds are the minority. 84% of the journalists come from some pretty well off families, circumstances. And with the editors, a little less, but as you can see, still the majority of the pie. So um, I saw this and I'm just like, that says a million things all at the same time. All at once, there's a million things to have been learned from just seeing that because it explains so much. We like to believe that the newsroom is full of people like Ed Asner playing Lou Grant and, um, the ambitious young writer or columnist who wants to expose the hypocrisy and the evil and, of course, the R word. But that's just not the case. These are some pretty well turned out people who want to perpetuate the aristocracy and who wants to make sure that working class people remain that way and that their opinions are never known. So let me thank you so much, Dina Nasser, for the super chat. She has a degree that can run the can run the let me see, she has that I'm sorry, she has degree that can run all institution. Thank you so much, Dina Nass. I'm sorry, I think I'm missing something there, but I understand what you're saying, and thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. But we totally get it and understand. Thank you ever so much. Sister says the royal family is so upset that our Duchess Meghan is cleaner than the Board of Health. I haven't heard that one in a while. She outsmarted them all, and they underestimated her ability to be interestingly intelligent. I'm sorry, yeah, interestingly intelligent. Thank you so much, sister. That is very true. I guess the idea that she would just be this little dowdy, for lack of a better word, Stepford wife wasn't in the cards. And in order to try to make her submit to the authority of the institution and to be 50% of herself, they went on the attack. And I remember when they first got married, there was this comment here and there about how can she be a feminist and a duchess at the same time? There's no room for a feminist to be a duchess. And you only need look at the other houses of Europe to realize that people um, don't want the Stepford wife. That the other princesses out there, the other high-ranking princesses, are actually quite intelligent. They have probably had a work history, and they're not just resting on their laurels. Whereas this one, if you catch her outside of the invisible contract, which here you can see someone forgot to airbrush the photo, and they are airbrushed. Almost exclusively, her photos have been airbrushed. Her photos are airbrushed. Camilla's photos have been airbrushed. It is all very cozy, the relationship that they have with the media. Very cozy. Okay. Let me go to the next one here. Okay, so Royal Communications, Wednesday, the 3rd of March, 2021, statement from Buckingham Palace. We are clearly very concerned about the allegations in the Times following claims made by former staff of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. According to our HR team, will look into the circumstances outlined in the article. Members of the staff involved at the time included those who have left the household, will be invited to participate. I wonder if that means Harry and Meghan when they say those who left the household will be invited to participate to see if lessons can be learned. Interesting language, right? The royal household has had a dignity at work policy in place for a number of years and does not and will not tolerate bullying or harassment in the workplace. Now, something like this, even and let me make sure that I speak very clearly when I say this. Even if there was any shred of evidence or any proof, this should have never made it outside of the walls of any of those households. Notorious bully Andrew, notorious bully Princess Anne, um, notorious bully Prince Charles, notorious bully Prince William. Those are the ones, those are just a handful. Princess Margaret, for God's sake. Princess Margaret, who was known, who was very well known to make life miserable for people. But people would endure for that good reference. And please don't get me started on backstairs Billy, William Talent, who would probably uh, make Andrew look like a member of the choir. I mean, come on. There's stories there. There's investigations. And believe me, if you know anything about the British courts, they don't care how far they go back to investigate things, unless it's a genocide in another country. They will go back as far as they feel they need to make the case. But they're never going to do that with the royal family. This should have never have seen the light of day. But we all know that this was all about the Oprah Winfrey interview and absolutely nothing to do with any claims of bullying. The whole thing is just a bunch of hooey designed like a toxin to slowly release and try to diminish its host. That's what it is. It's like a disease. It's like some kind of incurable disease that, oh, you can get past it, but it's going to lie dormant in your system and it'll come back from time to time. Like if you're overly stressed, or you get my point. It's there. It's not going anywhere. It's been put on the shelf, and maybe they publicly made that statement so that the Sussexes could actually, I guess, have some false sense of security, or who can tell? By the way, thank you, DR, for the donation via the PayPal. I really appreciate it. I don't want to say your name just in case, but thank you so much for that. It has been received, and I really appreciate it. If there's a message attached, I will read it later, but thank you ever so much. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Monday to you. So, let's see here. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom and then make my way back. Adrian Burrows says, there's a mental block amongst the royal family. They show they haven't learned anything from the Diana days. True, ever so true. Gosh, these are coming in fast. Joyce Voss, the royal family is bringing themselves down. They are getting more and more desperate and getting more and more making mistakes in order to call in order they so-called get Harry and Meghan. They will go too far. They have already gone too far, but yes, they're shooting themselves in the foot, as they say. Lavender Rose says Meghan continues to be heavily blamed for the royal split instead of examining the factors that led to Harry and Meghan leaving the toxic environment. Harry and William were having problems long ago. They were having problems long ago. The Duchess of Sussex, with her popularity, of course, that brought more scrutiny than I'm sure anybody anticipated, but some people did see it coming. Like, for instance, Keir Simmons, he knew that there was going to be conflict. And Keir Simmons said it, that the royal family had better be careful, because Keir Simmons, a man of the world, knows that African Americans African Americans are not going to tolerate this. That's why so much of the squad is made up of African Americans, because this type of thing, that very subtle, I'm just going to say it, racism, we don't tolerate that. We don't tolerate that. Most of the people that have been attacking the Duchess of Sussex, if they were in the industry here in the U.S., especially years ago, they would have all been fired. They would have been fired. They would have been removed by their various networks or newspapers. In some cases, they may have faced suspension, but we don't tolerate that. We don't tolerate that. Being an African American puts you in a very, very powerful position, even though sometimes it does not seem like it. But as a community, especially when we stick together, there's no limit to what's possible in terms of protecting our dignity. As you can see, you want to be president, Joe Biden? You want to be president? Okay, you can be president, but there's a certain amount of respect that you're going to have to show the black community, and he has. He has, by nominating a Supreme Court justice. I mean, just look at his cabinet; it's even more diverse than Barack Obama's. So there's a power there, and so that's what the royal family underestimated, is that and I'm not even going to just say the family, but I'm also going to say the tabloids. They underestimated that all of that stuff that they're pulling, those little childish games and pranks and such, that is so easily um, managed in the UK. It doesn't work here. It's not going to work here. The Sussex Squad is just that entity they could not have predicted, because they haven't experienced that before today. Well, before the Duchess of Sussex, they've never had to experience that. Um, and right down to Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey, that's what I think they kind of caught on, that Oprah Winfrey was not going to be intimidated by them. You can, as you know, they have tried to go after Oprah, but everything that they've tried to do to Oprah has been done before, and done before several times. So she's not the one to threaten. That's not going to work. They picked the wrong people in the wrong place with the wrong type of subject, attacking a woman of color, a woman of African descent in the United States. Let me know how that works out, because it's not going to work. It is not going to work. It's just not. We don't tolerate that. We haven't for a long time. Even at the worst times in the history in this country, we didn't look the other way, and we're not going to. And that's not to be critical of people of color anyplace else, but I'm just telling you, it's a whole nother situation once you cross that ocean. And they decided to try to bring it across the ocean, and it's not going to. We're not going to look the other way. We're not going to look the other way. We're not going to tuck our heads down. We're not going to wait for the royal family to give us some type of honor to try to control us. That's not going to work. We don't care nothing about a family that goes back 1,000 years. We don't care anything about that. What we care about is what happened to us 400 years ago. That's what's important. That's what we're thinking about. And in the Commonwealth, apparently other people are thinking about it too, because all they can talk about is separation and reparation. And the model, the big inspiration for that is Prince William. This guy is doomed. This guy is the end of the monarchy as we know it. This guy right here, loser, is all over that vast forehead, because he's already doomed or lost half the Commonwealth. Anybody of color whether they're Asian, Middle Eastern, or African, you already know where he stands. He thinks there's too many of us. So that Tory prince, he has doomed that family. He really has. He is only going to pull them down. That's why they want the queen to live forever, because the future is very bleak. Charles has no respect from anyone, and there's no reason to respect the adulterer prince. And as for William, he's an idiot, an imbecile. Really, he's an idiot and an imbecile. He's not that smart, and everybody knows it. Harry should be king, not William. Harry doesn't want it, but he's he would be the best hope for that family. But they would never let him be the king that he wants to be. The monarchy didn't treat black people well. Was it for 1,000 years ago, 400 years ago? The Duchess of Sussex, 3 years ago. They don't learn. Yes, Michael Miller, they don't learn. They don't learn. I'm pretty sure they're going to manage the Cambridges very well when they come here to the United States. They're going to manage them very well and try to make sure that nobody gets in their face, nobody asks any tough questions. And that's going to be the tough part is, um, will we get any questions? Andrea Mitchell already let the Duchess of Cambridge know this isn't your wedding tour of the U.S. that's coming up. When they were at that event over in Cornwall that time, and Andrea Mitchell asked that question, they shut that down so fast. And there was Jill Biden with her binder with questions. And, she wanted to ask about children and education. After all, she has a doctorate degree, but she wasn't allowed to say anything that would embarrass the Duchess of Cambridge, because had she said or asked anything, then the full court press would see the Duchess of Cambridge for who and what she truly, truly is.
People who aren't necessarily reaching out, who are struggling, who perhaps don't feel they can reach out, or the fact that maybe they haven't realised that addictive behaviours have sort of established.
Have you ever had a dreams that you want him to do you so much you could do anything? Have you ever had a dreams that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
You know what? I just realized what the problem is. She didn't have enough extensions in her hair. If she would have had just a few more extensions, she would have had the confidence in that moment to, communicate with the people on that Zoom call. Okay, Denise Marcus says Jill Biden could find out more important things about childhood development than Kate could come up with in 5 years. Oh, I can't wait till they get here. All I want is for them to have access, for the press to have access to ask the tough questions, because if given the chance, that what they're going to do, the palace is going to threaten people to prevent them from asking questions, and this is what they're going to hold over their head. As morbid as it sounds, this is what's going to happen. They are going to tell them, if you want access during the Queen's memorial, funeral, whatever, if you want to have access during Prince Charles's coronation, back off. That's exactly how they prevented the story about that wayward Prince Andy to come out, is because they threaten people. The palace routinely threatens people, and they have a lot of sway when it comes to the American media. If the Good Morning America or Today Show wants access in Britain, then you have to stand down and pretend as though the Cambridges are actually normal people rather than two people who don't really care for each other and aren't that bright. Okay, the so-called royal experts were salivating at this. Mind you, this was, let me see what that says there, late April 2019, and Meghan would give birth to Archie a week later. So the salivation was about Meghan Markle and Harry relocate to Africa, expert claims. Well, they, sometimes the tabloids, they try to drum up some kind of sentiment with the public, test the waters on behalf of the royal family as well to see if they can make their dreams come true. So this one is get the Sussexes out of the UK. Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, is moving pieces in the royal palace to ensure sister-in-law Meghan and Prince Harry relocate to Africa and stop stealing attention away from her and William. Commentator Justin Sylvester has sensationally claimed. I believe it. I believe it, not because it's something that would make the Cambridges look bad, but they drove them out of Kensington Palace. They hijacked their staff. They tried to get the nanny to spy on them. I mean, they've done a lot of things that we can be pretty certain is true. And of course, this story about them going to live in the Commonwealth and move into Africa, I can't help but believe that there is a truth to it, that they were trying to build up the momentum to push them out. And of course, push them out they did. They were hoping to get rid of the Duchess, but Harry really shocked them by leaving right along with his family. But that was their hope, is that they could drive the Duchess of Sussex out of the country. But much to their surprise, Harry stepped away from the only life that he had ever known, and of course, the life that he never, ever wanted. He never wanted that life. Cookies and Cream says the unroyal family made ingratiatus. I'm sorry, what is that? I'm sorry. Let me try that one more time. Okay, never mind. Error by launching their bogus bully investigation. They've opened the Pandora's box, and there's going to be such a backlash against the unroyals behind the mess. Cooking and Cream, I'm gonna get you for that egregious. That's right, egregious. Cookies and Cream, what you trying to do to me? Are you trying to bully me? Are you trying to? You knew that would trip me up. Oh, how dare you? Uh, okay. Just for that, Cookies and Cream, I am not going to say thank you for watching Royal Sussex today. But thank you for your comment. Uh, egregious. Who uses that word? How posh. All right, so Lavender Rose says Meghan's African American identity has been the target of racial slurs and defamation. In addition to her American heritage, her racial identity is why the Brits never embraced her as their own. Well, if the tabloids, Lavender Rose, if the tabloids hadn't driven this narrative, if they weren't the ones driving this narrative, on behalf of, I don't know, let me see. Let me set it up. If they would have not been given their marching orders from inside the house, then maybe this wouldn't have happened. Yes, there would have still been people who didn't like her. But let's remember, there were so many positive outpourings of affection at the time of the wedding. And there were a lot of people who genuinely were hopeful that the royal family was trying to reach modernity, albeit kicking and screaming, but they were trying to be a very modern royal family. But it is the narrative, the hate campaign. You see, Lavender Rose, this is my theory. There's a certain amount of fatigue that sets in, especially when it comes to a woman, and in particular, a woman of color. So, as I've said so many times, how does Hillary Clinton go from being the most admired woman in America for like what, 22 years straight? How did she go from being one of the most admired women in the world, one of the most famous women in the world at that? But how did she go from that to, I just don't like her. There's just something about her. Those emails, and because of the press. And the same thing happened to our Duchess. She was never given an opportunity to shine. They didn't want that. They didn't want her to prove her value and worth. I believe that the Duchess of Sussex was in it to win it. I believe she takes the role as a royal princess very, very seriously. That is something near and dear to her heart. The vows that she had taken with Harry, the vows that she had taken um, at the time of marriage, whenever she signed those papers, whenever she changed her name to Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, I believe all of that meant a lot to her. Her relationship with the Queen means a lot to her. She don't want to ever disappoint the Queen. She doesn't want to ever hurt the Queen. Have the Queen actually actively tried to hurt her? We don't know. But the Duchess of Sussex was going to give everything she had to prove her value and worth for the position, for the task at hand. That's who she is. She works from a position of kindness, inner strength, an outer beauty. All those things work together to make the Duchess of Sussex, standing on moral principle. But the tabloid press has worked very hard to destroy her character. And I cannot say that I blame some people over there for their ignorance, for their hostility, because that is the message that has been spoon fed to them all day, every day, for years now. It is going to take a toll. The same thing here in the United States. There's people here in the United States who just don't like Meghan, who thinks that she's to this and to that. And shockingly, some of them are black people who believe what the tabloids are saying. So I can't say that people never embraced her. I won't agree with that. I believe that the majority of people were more than willing to embrace the Duchess of Sussex. But those same people that turned against her, they may have liked Princess Diana at some point. They may have supported her. But now there's people who loved and supported Princess Diana who now thinks that, well, she did have a mental problem and she never should have done this and she shouldn't have done that. And she really never embraced the work. She didn't like being a princess. She just wanted to be around those Hollywood actors. There are people who change with what is that? Gone with the wind. Well, they change every time the wind blows. One day they like someone, the next day they hate someone because they are easily coerced by the media to find themselves, what does they call it? Gaslighting. They have been lit. The gaslighting has taken an effect. So I don't agree that she was never embraced. I'm sure she was, but some of those people are just easily persuaded by hate, and they don't read between the lines. They're basically just lazy, and the people in power, the unseen hand, they know that most people are lazy, and that they won't do research, and they don't care to know what the truth is. They'll believe whatever you tell them. So that's why someone ran into that pizzeria in Washington, D.C. with an automatic weapon so that he could free the children that were being held hostage in the back because of Hillary Clinton. He believed it. There's a lot of fragile people in this world that don't know any better and don't care to know any different. So I think that's why it could have worked. It could have worked, but for the calls coming from inside the house, and but for the tabloid media, this was very possible. But they've done everything that they could to make the possible impossible. But that's just my opinion. Maybe there's some part of that I got wrong, but that's what I believe. Lydia Washington says, Baron, there are people outside the wedding. There were people outside the wedding with Marry Me Harry shirts. There was hate thrown the way of the Duchess ever, ever, I'm sorry, ever since they came out, ever since it came out that they were dating. I'm sorry. Yes, absolutely. There has always been that undercurrent of hate, but I do believe that the vast majority of people that have turned against them, they are just suffering from the fatigue of it all. After hearing something negative for so long, people just want you to go away. They don't care that you're right or wrong, but they're just tired of hearing of it. Just like with the case with Johnny Depp and the Heard, whatever her name is. I never really knew her before that. I got to the point where I got fatigued and I just didn't want to hear it anymore. And so at that point, I had kind of turned against both of them. I'm like, Amber Heard, why are we even discussing this? But that's what I mean. The fatigue is capable of damaging a person's reputation and turning people against you because all they want is to not turn on television and see you. They want to pick up their social media and not see or hear from you. So it's very deliberate, it's very effective, and I think that um, yes, there's always going to be people that are suspicious of the outsider. I totally agree with that, but I think that this entire campaign of hate has taken its toll, and people are more apt to believe um, what they hear from within their country rather than to accept someone from outside of the country. Legs has a super chat. If they wanted real change, they would stop this performative display of people of color. I am so sick of it. African Americans in the U.S. see what you are doing. Oh yeah, yeah. Like I say, as an African American, we have that sixth sense about BS. We really do, especially when the R word is attached to it. Thank you for the super chat. And let's see here. Wow, this is getting intense. You know what? I am going to see if there's anyone, and hopefully today, if it's someone who hasn't um, been a part of the conversation before, I would love to hear from someone who hasn't actually spoken on any of the platforms for that matter. So let me do this. Let me add this to the conversation, the link, because I would love to hear someone else's opinion besides just reading the stuff here. So please lend your voice. Okay, where did it go? There it is. If you would please lend your voice to the conversation. There, I just pinned it at the top of the chat. And let's talk about it. Okay. Harry and Meghan in exile. Palace reportedly eyes Africa move for couple as far away as possible from William. Ugh. And then William at 40, a milestone birthday in a life under scrutiny. Well, take a look at this. World watched as Prince William grew from a tow-headed schoolboy. Is that right? Tow-headed schoolboy into a dashing air sea rescue pilot to a balding father of three. You know where this story comes from? ABC News. This is from ABC News. The world watched as Prince William grew from a tow-headed schoolboy to a dashing air sea rescue pilot to a balding father of 3. That came from ABC News. So you know what? Maybe my dreams are coming true. When I saw that, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, really? ABC News? Wow. Okay, so nobody wants to talk today, huh? Okay, fine. Well, okay, then I'll just continue. All right. Uh, Karen Warner says, I don't mind the names. It just shows her power, shows they all are paying attention to how honored the Duchess is. Embrace it. All that is nothing new. Join the greats of history for hundreds of years. Thank you, Karen Warner, for your comment. Black Queen says in a super chat, Baron, please, how much of that Rottweiler in Windsor to break the time? Oh man, please play how much is that? Oh man. Are you serious? Do you really want to see that one? Because I don't mind. How much is that Rottweiler in the window? I guess you're right. It is getting a little hot in here, isn't it? Okay. It's so funny that nobody's ever asked to see it before, but I hope I got the right video. But yeah, I'll cue it up. Oh, I feel like Rose Nyland on the Golden Girls. You know how she tells that back in St. Olaf story and nobody ever wants to hear it. And then one day somebody asked, Rose, tell a story. She's like, really? From the beginning? Yeah, so that's what I'm feeling right now is actually somebody wants to hear my well, okay, let me see if I can find it. See, I wasn't prepared for that one at all. I was not prepared for that one at all. Let me see. Uh yeah, see, I'm so unprepared for it. I can't even find it. Yes, that's how unprepared I am for it. I can't even find it. It's one of those things where when you're not looking for it, it's everywhere. And then if you are looking for it, then you can't find it. Sorry about that, but if I can find it later, I will definitely throw it out there. Which is strange because I just played it. Anyway, thank you so much for that super chat. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Missing Afro Annie? I am sorry. I'm sorry. There you go. Okay, there's your Afro Annie fix. Oh, you guys are too kind, but thank you for that. All right, so nobody wants to chat. I put the link up there. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Chime in. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. I'm sorry. There it is right there. I did find it. Oh, man. Okay, okay. Cue it up. Cue it up. All right, got it. I got it. I was looking right at it and didn't even know it. Okay, so I'm sure you all have seen this one before. And there we go. Thank you so much for that. You know, I really hate to be that petty person, but sometimes people just ask for it. And if you want to call that blaming the victim, then okay, so be it. Blame the victim. But in this case, it's a very unsympathetic victim. It's the Duchess of Cornwall. I wonder why we never call her the Princess of Wales, even though she is married to the Prince of Wales. Could it have been that adulterous affair that led to the destruction of the marriage of the first Princess of Wales to Prince Charles? But, I don't want to get into all of that who shot John. I'm just saying the Duchess of Cornwall is not the most sympathetic character in this whole sordid saga. So, considering that, I just decided to take it upon myself to express my feelings about how I feel about Camilla's, I guess, is she angry? I mean, it's hard to tell because she always has that resting Duchess of Cornwall face. It's kind of hard to read it because, with all of the... Well, anyway, I'm not even going to get into her face. But that weather-beaten mug of hers somehow is trying to express something, but she doesn't want to use her own actual words. Apparently, they're using so-called palace insiders. Okay, I am going to cut to the chase and get on with it. Oh, there it is. I think this is where it actually starts. Being expressed the only way I know how. Okay, that's it for now. Oh man, I had so much fun making that video. Okay, so Ed, hello, Melissa Johnson. Hello, Miss BSNCO9, right? Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hi, hello.
Melissa, go ahead. You were the first.
Oh, thanks. Well, overall, how can I say it? I think the whole entire situation is just a sad situation. And I find it quite funny, if anything, because now they're acting like Instagram followers. Sorry, I actually stammer and I'm nervous. So, but I've just noticed when it comes to like Kate and Will and the royal family, they're all acting like Instagram followers. They're all copying, and I'm kind of confused here because if somebody made me cry and if somebody made my life a living hell, why would I be copying? It just shows how insecure these people are, and no matter how much money they have, they're just insecure because only insecure people do what they have done. And oh god, sorry, I had a load of things that I wanted to say, but now that I'm live, it's like it's gone. And it's just I don't know, it's just a sad situation. It's just a really, really sad situation. And to be honest with you, I don't know how this woman's been plotting and scheming for a good 10 years in order to be queen, but yet but yet she doesn't know how to talk. I don't understand that. I don't understand how she does not know how to talk. I'm not sure if she's playing dumb or she's actually dumb, but she just I don't know. But it's embarrassing. It's really, really embarrassing. And I'm from
What?
England. So sorry, I'm rambling. Go on. I'm nervous. Go ahead,
Oh
sorry.
no, it's quite okay. You're doing fine. I do have a theory about what you just said. Number one, she's lazy.
True.
And number two, she's very insecure because
She is.
amongst the friends of William and Harry back in the
Mhm.
day, it was said, well, especially William's friends, it was said that they referred to the two Middleton girls as the Wisteria sisters because just like the vine, they would crawl their way
Mhm.
up the ladder
Mhm.
or trellis to try to reach the top. And
True.
so she is not of the aristocratic side of things, although
Mhm.
they found some lineage, they said, from way back when. But her body language says, "What am I doing here?" It seems as though her mother has coerced and pushed her into a life that she probably never wanted. But
True.
perhaps she herself thought, if I'm ever going to amount to something, if I'm ever going to be the center of attention, it won't be because of my oratorial skills or however you said. It's only going to be because I have found myself a duchess and a future queen and the mother
Mhm.
of the future, if that makes sense. That's the only way that she was ever going to get to the top. But if it was just based on talent, folding clothes on the high street at some apparel store is not the way to do that. Academically, she's obviously not gifted because 10 years to come up with 5 questions, well,
Oh
that's not
God.
exactly a huge scholar tour or something like that. So
True.
she had no other way to the top. Maybe she wanted it and didn't realize what it entailed, or maybe
Mhm.
she thought that she could do it and found out that she would actually have to work. So when they say
Mhm.
that, oh, Meghan didn't want to do the work, Meghan is all about that work ethic. Is the
Exactly.
Duchess of Cambridge who doesn't want to work? What do you say, Miss VSN?
You really want to know what I I'm going to be nice. Hi, Baron. I couldn't resist. I know I'm
Hi,
breaking
Miss
the
VSN. And
rules.
by the way, thank you so much for being here. I am so honored.
I'm breaking the
I am so
rules
honored.
because,
You have
yes, I've
helped
been
me
on
out so
panels.
much.
Oh, you did?
You have
Yeah,
helped me
it's a
out so
community.
much.
It's a community, and you're
Thank
here to
you.
help. But my feelings on those that are based in the UK, yeah, it's not very highly thought of. Um, I'll just say that she knew what she was getting into. She had one job, that's to have children. She did that. Um, I think she thought she could fake her way through speeches, but that's not possible when all cameras are on you and the mic is hot.
Mhm.
She can't pre-record those. I'm sure she wished she could, and then try to lip sync like she did with the piano, try to play little. But I digress.
Oh, you're talking about the Phantom of Westminster Abbey.
Oh
Yes,
no.
I love all your nicknames too. I try to keep up with them, but. Gangsta Gang Gang is the only one that I really remember off the top of my head most times. Yes.
Well, to be fair, I think I got that one from someone else. So I try not to take credit
Uh-oh.
for other people's work. Like I
Uh,
always say that jazz hands, I got that from the Celibici. I loved when I
oof.
saw it, I fell in love with jazz. Well, when I heard it, I fell in love with
Love
jazz
with it.
hands. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Jazz
Well,
hands.
she's
I'm
always got
seeing
to
that.
make that ring visible. She's always got to flash the ring. Like we don't
Mhm.
know for the last 11 years you've been married to that idiot. But okay.
So,
Okay.
Melissa, do you want to hang out and maybe when the other things that you wanted to say comes back to you, you can
Yeah.
just chime in
Yeah.
whenever you like?
Sure.
Or
And
okay, cool.
I'm
Um,
gonna drop back
yeah.
down into the clouds or go back to the
Miss
space station, as I
VSN,
say.
Miss
What?
No.
VSN, Miss
What?
VSN, your voice comforts me, especially sometimes when I'm prepping for my show and I'm listening to you. It's just, I don't know,
Oh my
it's like
goodness.
Roberta Flack. It's like
Oh
Roberta Flack
wow.
has a platform. Very soulful, very comforting, and so I'm always looking forward to it. So,
Oh, that's
and
special. That's
and
sweet. Thank you.
yes, it's true. So, but if
Aw.
you're ready to drop out, I understand.
Well, I
And
like listening to you, and I can cackle and talk a lot of trash, and that that's not really for YouTube ears, but
oh, I
I'll
understand.
I'll be on later if you want to check out, and come hang out. I might even drop the link for people to come up and talk to me. So one never knows.
Please do, and
Okay.
I'll pin it. I'll pin it.
Okay. Alrighty.
Um, because I just learned how to pin, as you know.
I love it. I love it.
Let me tell you, when I worked in retail before, and I found out what the code was for the discount. So for the whole day, I was so fascinated with the power that I had to discount products for the customer. So everybody came through there. I
Got
would
a
say, "How's your
discount.
day? This and that." So I'm going to give you a little discount, and I did that for the whole rest of the day. I
Oh
was
my
just so
goodness.
fascinated with the power. I was obsessed with discounting purchases for my customers. So uh, it doesn't take much to make me happy. It doesn't take much to impress me. And when I learn something new, like how to pin something to the chat, I'm like, oh, I'll pin it. Let me pin that. You know what? I'm going to pin that
It
because
is a
that's
learning
my
process.
power.
Right. It's not like, YouTube or StreamYard gives you some tutorial. Like I'm still working on even putting my cam on StreamYard. Yeah,
Well, let me
me and
ask you a
StreamYard
question.
battle it out. Mm-hmm.
If anybody wants to create their own platform, especially one that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, I hope, what is your advice to them?
My advice to them is to just be authentic, be themselves. Don't try to be any one of the other channels. We're not in competition with one another. We're just being ourselves and running our channels. But just know that if you're not pro Sussex and you come out as pro Sussex, Squad is gonna come for you. Okay.
And
I'm just
how?
saying, yes. And hi everybody in the chat. I see the hellos here and there. So yeah, I just would say, reach out to any one of the platforms. Just for if you have questions, if you're just not sure on how to get started. I already had my channel, which 10 years today is the first time I put up any content, but it's only been about 10 months since I'm doing the content I have now, of course, and Harry and Meghan with Tina and Michelle sundowning slowly on us. So I was just like, oh, let me throw my hat in the ring. But just truly be yourselves and connect with your audience. That's really
Who's making a
important.
clicking sound? Where's that
I
clicking
don't
sound coming
know.
from?
Is that
Because
from
I'm not
me?
moving my jaw, so I don't think it's me.
I'm not sure if it's me. I don't think it's
And
me
I'm not
because I was
standing
given
up,
back.
so it's not that popping.
Yeah,
When I
I'm
stand up, there's a
sitting.
when I stand up, there's a popping sound from my knee. When I talk, there's a
Knee,
clicking
hip,
sound.
back.
My whole body is turning
There
into a
you go.
box of cereal.
There you go.
Snap, crackle, pop. So I have a different sound for every joint.
Mm, I do too. I clearly and I understand that. Yes. So I hope I answered the question. Just be authentic. Don't hesitate to reach out and ask questions of other content creators, especially in the positive Sussex sphere. And you know, when we see our messages, we'll be happy to respond because sometimes it's difficult.
Okay, so since you're here,
Uh-huh.
to people who feel as though they have been unfairly blocked from the various platform and channel, well, let's just say from YouTube, what could you say about that? Because if you remember, you helped me bring someone in who wasn't blocked, but for some reason were not able to participate
Hmm.
in the chat. And I don't know how that happened. I suppose you don't know how that happened, but it does happen. Is that correct?
It does happen. So I have myself, the more people that you support, and I go to different channels and I'm supporting lives and premieres and everything. If you're commenting, YouTube can shadow ban you, and that stops you from
Okay.
commenting.
Oh,
It's not
see,
that
I
you're completely blocked from YouTube, but they can
okay,
just put a halt on you because they think you're trolling. If you're going into
okay,
multiple lives or premieres and just commenting and really communicating with the host as well as the chat. So, shadow banning does happen. And I've had it happen to me where, I went to post a comment and it was like, nope, can't do that. And I'm like, what? And so I was just
okay,
like, maybe I'll try somebody else's. And it was the same thing. And I'm like, what is going on here? And lo and behold, someone else that I'm connected with was like, oh, yeah, I'm shadow banned. So I was like, oh, that is a thing. It is a
okay. So
thing.
I have just pinned you on the chat here,
Look at
so
him
you guys can go. I know I just pinned
flexing
you.
that.
I just pinned. Anyway, you all
Love you
can go
for
and
that.
check out
Thank
Miss
you.
Via's in with that link, and make sure you support all of our Sussex friendly
Yes.
platforms. And please, as I mentioned at the beginning of it, y'all please stop scrutinizing people unfairly for their content, especially if they have been nothing positive. If they're not being as volatile and angry for a particular subject, then take your smartphone and create a platform of your
Your
own.
own.
And that
Yep.
way you can make sure that things are said exactly the way you want it to be said.
I never
So
could
that's
understand that. Like I was getting criticism in the beginning. Oh, you should do this. You should do that.
really
And I mean, everyone has an opinion, so I want to hear from everybody. So, how do you like this? And I would ask those questions. Do you like this? Do you not? Because I have more than just Sussex content. Sussex
mhm.
Saturday is just that, all things Harry Meghan. I may, when Invictus is going on, do more uploads or premieres during the week, but generally my Tuesday and Thursday content is not really Sussex driven. So I had people that did not appreciate that. Like they were like, "Oh, I was subscribed, but you're not like 100% Sussex." And I'm like, "Okay, you
And
really
don't you
can't
love
you can't
oh,
please
I'm sorry.
everybody."
I was gonna say, don't you love the way they are so forward with their
Oh
thoughts about it?
yeah,
Like
their
I would
critiques.
it's like that ultimate power. I would subscribe, but I won't subscribe, and that,
Right.
but yet they're watching all the time.
Right, right. There's times when, especially given the recent stuff, putting more
Mhm.
controls in place when it comes down to the live streams, especially for Sussex, and did have some people say, "Oh, well, I'm not able to comment," and I'm like, I had it for like someone who subscribes and then 7 minutes after you subscribe you're able to comment, so I couldn't understand what was going on, but it could be that that person may have been shadow banned YouTube
Mhm.
side because of different chats and all that stuff. So a lot of times I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, but if I'm reading a comment from you after the live, you're not banned, like shadow banned. So it's kind of really what
Well,
was
I
going
really
on.
enjoyed your the video where you opened up that was it a candle? I can't remember. It was something like it was an opening video, a box opening video. I
Oh,
don't
Mindful Souls unboxing.
Yes, yes. And I'm
Yes.
just like, they need to hire you to be their spokesperson
Oh,
because
really? Oh, listen
yeah,
out.
I
Look
thought it was
out.
absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
As a matter
thank
of fact, I
you.
shared it with a friend of mine who wants to create a platform, and I'm like, just watch how she's doing this because I thought it was like a master class. It was top drawer,
Oh,
absolutely
well,
top
thank
drawer.
you. Thank you very much. I
Oh, you're
appreciate
welcome.
that. Any other
Well,
questions?
no, I think that's been helpful to
Mm.
anyone who wants to get started, and also you have helped, I guess, kind of validate some of the stuff that I've been saying about, the criticisms and stuff like that. I'd never imagine that anybody would criticize you, but I could understand when you said that they didn't think you were doing this or that right. Yeah, and it can be very jarring to hear something like that because you're trying to do your best and you're
Right.
constantly thinking about. I call it my constituency. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think
Yeah.
of
The
it just as
members.
subscribers or members.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
my constituents, and I consider that every time. Like sometimes if I have something that's too heavy a topic, and like yesterday with everything that was going on, I said let's just look at Harry.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that always seems to be the right call when I decide to at least start off like that,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't like too much bad news and too much negativity, because we have to be very mindful of the way we protect our mental health and well-being, and
Very
also
true.
that of others. So to be salacious and angry all the time, and it does captures people's attention, but the price is very
It's very
high for
high.
you
Yeah.
and for them.
Well, and then it sets the that energy to your channel. Like basically, you can have your moments. I have trash time during Sussex Saturday, and we have fun. And I might be in a snarky mood. You know how that is, Baron. You just
Mhm.
when you hit go live, all of a sudden it's just the first little comments, and they make you laugh, but the snark comes out, and you can't help yourself. You just kind of go
Well,
for it.
did you hear my story yesterday about the little white man?
No. I
Well,
will have to
that
go
one
listen.
was just a random story that I told, and, even though it happened to me, my side was hurt, my stomach was hurting so bad from having told that story, that I didn't even think it was that funny to me until I heard myself say it.
See?
And I love doing that random stuff like that.
Yeah.
I stay focused on the Sussexes, but I think it's good to switch it up.
Oh, sure.
Whenever it seems necessary. Like sometimes I've done like a video about history. I did a couple of those, and
Mhm.
that was well received. And it wasn't really about the views; it was just about the pleasure of telling the story. So
It's
I'll probably
what
do more of that in the future.
right. It's the content that speaks to you. That's
Hmm.
really if someone out there is listening and you want to start your own platform, it's what content speaks to you. That's what you
Hmm.
do because your genuine self will come forward and that will attract, squad to you. Believe you me, squad has a good sense on who's doing it right and truly squad. So,
See what I mean, y'all? I think Miss VSN should be a motivational speaker. You should do like
oh
those
my
positive
goodness.
affirmation,
Oh, that I read
like
during. Mhm.
something that will like help people focus and do a reset for their next day, or to calm down from their work day or something like that. I mean,
I need to
I
send one to the UKers, the
mhm.
royals in the UK.
Uh-huh.
You are stop being spiteful.
Yes,
Stop being
absolutely.
hateful. You will
Mhm.
never be
Stop being
Meghan.
extra.
There you go. You will never be Harry.
Okay, well, it looks like Melissa had to step away.
Oh,
I'm so sorry,
I
Melissa.
don't want to
If you
chase anybody away.
Yeah, and I was hoping today to have people that haven't
Yes.
commented yet. I know Mo Shannon was in the holding pattern, but I was hoping to hear from people who have
Right.
not
That's
had a
why I
chance
said
to
I broke the rules.
share. So,
But I wanted to come up and say hi, you
well,
know.
you didn't break the rules. This is like your first time that we've chat like this.
Well, that's true, but
So
I mean, I do have a platform, so I'm used to
yeah.
talking
Well,
on it, but
anyway, I'm glad you're here, and
all
thank
right.
you for helping. Because I tell you, it was two people that I couldn't understand. I had never blocked them or anything like
Mhm.
that, and you explained how to manually put them in, because I feel bad, because I don't want people to think that they've been blocked and I didn't even do anything. I would
Yeah.
literally go to like the whole list of people blocked, and I couldn't find them there, and I didn't know why that happened. So you were very helpful with that,
Well, I'm
among
glad
other
I was
things. So
able to
I do.
help.
Oh, and the super, what is the super thanks button?
Super
I
thanks.
saw I saw your video for that, so that was helpful.
See, there you
Yeah,
go. I'm
because
putting out
I'd been
something.
looking for it, and then I had forgot about it, and then when I saw, I'm like, "Oh, is it here? Is it here? Let me see if I got mine."
Listen, I happen to see it. Well, in YouTube Studio, you'll see, and they put it right in a little corner, and it's like Creator's Corner, and it's like if you don't pay attention to that, I would have
Mhm.
missed it. So, I mean, I was like, oh, okay. Um,
Well,
Church
you heard
Nelly.
enough.
Before I drop, I'm just gonna say Church Nelly. Do I need
Oh,
to
let me
bring
see.
that picture back up on Nacho? You
You
know
know
which
what? I'm
nachos
so
I'm
busy.
talking about.
I'm so busy, like, into the conversation with you. I haven't even glanced at the
I just
comments.
saw her out of the corner of my eye, and it all, what content speaks to me? Nacho. And
Nacho,
Moonshine,
Nacho
yeah,
Man.
she's got a hankering. Hmm.
Yeah, Nacho is directly from Central Casting. If Nacho didn't exist, they would have to create a Hollywood characterization of him to believe it,
Oh,
because he
exactly.
the accent, the hair has a life of it. His hair should have a fan page.
It
And
may
then yeah. I mean, some people, when you look at their hair, you just want to,
run
go
your
up and
hands through it.
grab it.
Yes.
Yeah. You just want to grab it, run your fingers through it, investigate it. How could something like this exist in nature? Because it's so unbelievable. You see that wall of hair. Of course, if it's extensions, I'm about to shame somebody, but
Oh
if it's a
Lord.
bunch of extensions to help balance that grin or something like that, then we're not interested in that
Oh
hair.
my
We're not
goodness.
into those balloonist extensions or anything like that. So,
Mm, mm,
but
mm. As hard as
anyway,
she tries.
if you want to hang out some more, because I just realized I got a bunch of slides I haven't even gone through. But
I'm gonna drop down in the chat, but I,
okay,
I I do appreciate you letting me up. Only because I have to get ready for my one at 5 o'clock, and yeah.
and now
I
is
have
that
to go through a mental
central?
thing.
Is that
No, that's
central?
Eastern
Eastern. So
time.
5 o'clock. I think that's what 4 o'clock for me. I'm in
I
central,
think
so I
so.
think that
Yes. So you're an
okay.
hour behind. Yeah.
Well, you
Mhm.
are part of my relaxation before I go on,
Oh,
and it helps me to focus. And
well, that's good to
also,
know.
let me see, I usually do some prepping the night before, and then the morning of, and then sometimes I start making phone calls and stuff in the morning. That's why I'm almost always never have my slides ready, never have the thumbnail ready.
There is a lot to it when you're going to do a live,
Hmm.
that a lot of people may not realize. And especially you plan your so-called plan your morning, but you got to get up and do your morning routine and a
Hmm.
lot in that time. And I try to give myself a buffer of at least 30 minutes before to make sure I've loaded everything. Because I've been sitting there sometimes and I'm like, I didn't even bring all my content over. And then I start doing that. And um, of course, now I have to worry about, is the headset going to work? And yeah, it's just a whole lot. And I like to have a few minutes just to kind of, woosah before I hit the go live button. So,
Well, I may be able to help you. This is something that I learned from one of the, how-to people, is that you have to restart your computer before you go live. That
mm,
will eliminate a lot of that glitchiness, and it
mm-hmm,
does help, because when you're doing all that stuff with the software
mm-hmm.
before you go on, it makes things glitchy. That's where that you sound like you're in a submarine talking stuff with the microphone. And so
Ah,
when people would say you need to get a better microphone, it's because I forgot to restart.
right,
I'm using
beforehand.
the same microphone. It doesn't move. There's nothing
Mm-hmm,
to mess up.
mm-hmm.
You're not wearing out any parts. You don't really move it that much. So it's actually in the software. It will become glitchy, and it is best to do a restart
Well, that's good
before
to know.
you go
I
on.
never even
But
thought of that.
when you do the restart, you're going to have to put all of the files back on the whatever slideshow or whatever. Well, I'm using the Google. You have to put those slides back in place, because otherwise you don't have to redo the slides. But what it is that they won't be on the bottom of the screen where you had them in the first place. So all that has to be put back. So do the restart and then put the files on and then start.
Okay.
And that will eliminate a lot of the glitches that you
Well,
suffered
that's
through.
good to know. Thank you for that. I usually bring mine into StreamYard. Like I just have them under, what is that, banners? And I just share that way because it's just easier not to try to share screens and I'll get
Right.
lost.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I start getting lost. So yeah, but thank you
I
for that. I
always
have to remember that.
I always feel like Lucy and Ethel in the Chocolate Factory.
One of the funniest episodes, yes, but I get it. I
Uh-huh.
get it. I get it
I'm
completely.
like, oh, here comes Lucy and Ethel.
Well, yes. Okay, I'm gonna get myself out of here right now
I know
and
why
let
you're leaving, because
others.
once I start making those references to pop culture, you know I can't stop. So yeah, you better get out of here while you can, because next thing you know, I'm going to be talking about Martha Ray and Polly Dent, Mrs.
Hey,
Olsen and coffee.
it's all good. It's all good. I'm looking forward to us being able to do something for a second season of The Gilded Age. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yes, I would love that. I
Okay.
love Gilded Age.
Yeah, that
I would
was my
love that.
thing. So we'll have to do something, come up with something around that. So,
Please, let's make that happen.
okie dokie. All
Oh,
right.
this has been such an unexpected pleasure. I am going to be on such a high all day because I talked to Miss VSN.
Oh my goodness.
You
Thank
you ought to
you.
see the way I'm smiling right now. I'm just grinning.
You were
All
too much. You're too much. Thank you for the hospitality.
right,
Hi
thank you
and
for
see
being here.
everybody. All
Thank you,
right.
Miss
You take care. All right.
VSN.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh man, that was fun. I am literally just sitting here just as happy as I could be. And thank you, Melissa. That was very, very nice of you to come in. I really appreciate it. I wish you could have stayed longer. And you were amazing. And if you were nervous, it wasn't really noticeable. So anyway, I'm just glad that both of you all chimed in. And sorry, Latte, I didn't get to you, and Mo Shannon. I do apologize. I was just hoping to get some new people up today because yeah, I was just wanted some variety, if that's okay. But yeah, you guys, I am just so happy now. I feel like, oh, thank you for the super sticker, now, now. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And I think I saw another. Oh, there we are. Thank you, Katrina Kemp, for the super sticker. Thank you both for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Monday to you. Gosh, I'm so happy. That's unexpected. I'm just like, did I just talk to Miss VSN? Did that really happen? That is so cool. Okay, so all right, so let me get back to my slides so we can. That was a nice break from everything getting so heated like that. I think Black Queen suggested that I play my Camilla video, and then we had some people to chat to. So I think it gives the day a great balance. And after those chats, now my energy is renewed. So win-win, win-win for all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so anyway, this guy right here, Carl Larson, claims Thomas Marco comments had to be heavily edited. Well, he's saying that he's not such a friend to the royal family as he appears, and Thomas Marco is all over the place. I don't know if he's losing his mind or if he's just such a grifter that you can't really tell where he's coming from. Like here, you can see Thomas Markle, former friend, reveals surprising behind the scene details about his behavior. Well, you know what? I haven't watched any of the videos and I don't really care about either one of them. As you know, my theory is that Thomas Markle, it could possibly, and I don't think that is true, but it is possible that he could be the secret love child of Aunt B and Otis the Wino. I'm just saying they were both in Hollywood around the same time, and Thomas Markle Thomas Markle does bear a striking no-necked resemblance to them both. So it is possible that whilst on the set of the Andy Griffith Show late one night, that a child was conceived who grew up to be this lumbering, vicious bowl of Jello who who seemed to suffer from the effects of being born to two very weird and bizarre people. So it is possible. I mean, it's not likely, and I can't say that I have any evidence. I'm just going with this based on that striking resemblance between Aunt B and Otis the Wino. I mean, I don't even know which state Thomas was born in or where he was hatched or where he just was left on the side of the road. But anyway, if you ask me, I believe somewhat that Otis the Wino and Aunt B may have conceived a child while on the set of the Andy Griffith Show. And as a result of that, there's Thomas Markle. So when somebody says, I have evidence to refute that, then I will retract my comment. But until then, that is the love child of Aunt B and Otis the Wino from the Andy Griffith Show. Okay, Boom says, trending in the United States, royal family lied. 67,400 tweets, and I'm sure the number is much higher now. As you guys know, Twitter was ablaze yesterday when that statement came out. Sometimes I'm so confused about how much attention and power the British media gives the squad, but then I wake up to this and okay, that's fair. And we are powerful. We are powerful. Meghan Markle bullying review looks like PR exercise to muddy the waters. Okay, well, the usually oppositional Newsweek, should I say the usually critical Newsweek that has been so heavy-handed with the Sussexes is saying that it appears to be a PR exercise to muddy the waters. And I can't see any evidence that that is untrue. So for now, I'm going to say that it probably is true. The Sun says Queen commands that no flags be flown for Prince William's birthday after he plots to make Prince Andrew disappear. He plots to make Prince Andrew disappear. Now, I really love this. This is actually a great improvement. You see the photo on the right side there. The calls are coming from inside Kensington Palace. Well, as you guys know, that was one of my little creations. But I love what they've done with it here, where they added breaking news, and it covers up the face of that little monster, that Wooten Tootin, Bruton Tootin Dan Wooten. The Queen is obviously not happy with William. He lost nearly half the Commonwealth comments. He lost nearly half the Commonwealth of Nations, and she even more livid that William chased Harry out of the firm. Well, Maria Wolf, whoever that is, I love this. I see two pieces of my handiwork. Lost half the Commonwealth and Kensington Palace when a stranger calls. I love that. I love it. That is too funny. When I saw that, I'm like, I wonder if that's a subscriber to Royal Sussex. Oh, man. And then Melissa Murray. We love Melissa Murray. I absolutely adore her. She's a professor. She has more credentials than you can shake a stick at. And she happens to, I guess, really appreciate, love, support the Duchess of Sussex. And so for that reason, when I saw this, I was like, okay, my day has just gotten better. So let me share. Let me see. Melissa Murray. Okay, I have it here. Oh, that's not it. Let me see if I can find the little video I have with Melissa Murray. As you can see, I did not have it ready, but I will make it available. Okay. If I can spell Melissa right. Oh man. Okay. So Melissa Murray. Well, anyway, I don't see it. But let me go on with this anyway. Let me take that away. Sorry about that. So weird that the royal family will not publicize the results of their investigation of claims that the other Meghan Markle bullied staff members is almost like the claims were manufactured in advance of the Oprah Winfrey interview. Well, Melissa Murray, you can say almost, but I'm just going to say it. It was manufactured in advance of the Oprah Winfrey interview. But, Melissa is a professor and a very pillar of our society. So she says it her way, and I'm going to say it mine. But we all are getting to the same place where this is concerned, is that it is kind of weird that the royal family will not publicize the results of this investigation because they went through so much trouble to make something out of absolutely nothing just to hurt the Duchess of Sussex, to try to besmirch her reputation and disparage her as much as possible, up until the point where she actually lost an unborn child. In my opinion, I believe that the tabloid media has cost the Duchess of Sussex more than we could calculate, and it's absolutely dreadful that that happened. But yeah, there you have it. So I'll say it my way. The Duchess of Sussex paid a heavy price for just being the Duchess of Sussex, as we all know. And thank you, Professor Melissa Murray, for she has quite a following on Twitter, as you can imagine. So it's very nice to see that she's standing up for our Duchess. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me go on to the next slide. Oh, I'm done with that stack. Oh, we're over here. Okay, let me have a break beat, you guys. Time for a little break beat. Was Meghan Markle a bully or was she bullied? Okay, so let me say it like Oprah Winfrey. Were you a bully or were you bullied? Okay, that is Oprah's inflection upon it. So let's take a look at the list here. Meghan Markle was not the bully. British royal family member wore racist brooch to meeting that included Meghan. Well, we all remember that it was Princess Michael of Kent who wore the blackamoor brooch. Check. Senior family member had conversations with Harry about how dark Archie's skin color might be. Check. They did not correct the lie that Meghan made Kate cry. Check. Remove Meghan's name from Archie's birth certificate. Check. Told her to be 50% of herself. Check, 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 check. Did nothing when she told them she needed mental health help. Check. All of that is true. Did nothing about the abuse and the hate from the tabloids and royal reporters. Check. Right? Leaked information about her to the media. check, publicly claimed they were going to investigate her for bullying while saying they wouldn't make the results public. Check. And lastly, broke the non-disclosure agreement and had their staff provide information to help the tabloids, aka Jason Knopf. Oh, I just recall I had some emails. Jason Knopf. Tabloids, let me see, Meghan was suing for printing her private letter. So all of that is true. Yes, thank you for the checks. All of that is true. Every bit of it is the truth. The royal family, the what do you call it? The tabloids, all of that is mentioned here is true. That is a list of 10 things that, as a matter of fact, let me make sure I give credit to, how do you pronounce that? Daar, Dargan? Is it Dargan? Anyway, thank you, Dargan, for this. I'm so glad to share it. I hope you don't mind. But thank you so much for this. So Dargan went through all the trouble to create this. And let me show you. That was one. Here's the next one. Meghan Markle smear campaign. Sociopath. Narcissist. Toxic. The B word. Bully. Emotionally cruel. Unhinged. Manipulative. Harry showgirl. Degree wife. Meghan, damaged goods, come with a lot of baggage, merciless. Anyway, that bloody woman, interloper, made Kate cry, bullied her staff. So there's 18 marks that they tried to put on her, 18 comments that they tried to smear her with. 18 words and or comments that were used to try to disparage the Duchess of Sussex and to create a characterization that did not exist before or since reaching Narnia. Okay, so thank you for that one. And then let's move on, which, by the way, everything that you have up there, I would actually accredit to these two. I think they're more of those things than anybody else, especially sociopath and narcissist, toxic. There they are right there. Okay, let's go on. They were willing to lie to protect other members of the family, but they weren't willing to tell the truth to protect me and my husband. That is what Meghan said, of course, at the famous Oprah Winfrey interview. Also, I've seen behind the curtain, I've seen the business model, and I've seen how the whole thing works, and I don't want to be a part of this. Prince Harry, Armchair Expert podcast, May 2021. So again, let us give thanks to the squaddy that put all of this together on Twitter. That was a lot of heavy lifting that I didn't have to do myself, so I really do appreciate it. And there you have it. So, Royal Family Live, Meghan fans slam firm bullying lies over plot to silence the Duchess. So what they're really trying to say is that the Sussex Squad slams the firm and, of course, the tabloids. Meghan Markle fans have accused the royal family of lying about claims the Duchess of Sussex bullied members of the staff. Well, what do you want us to say? We really would appreciate you just coming out and saying the Sussex Squad, because that's who they're really referring to, but they just can't bring themselves to mention Sussex Squad. Of all people, it took Dan Wooten to publicly refer to the Sussex Squad, but the tabloids aren't ready yet.
Thomas, I wanted to ask you about these vile individuals who refer to themselves as the Sussex Squad.
So I come to my dad's house and start going through it, and I look on YouTube.
He went to his dad's house and started going through it. I'm still clouded about what is meant by that. I mean, someone has just had a stroke and of course, they supposedly are unable to walk or talk or carry on a conversation. And then one of the shadiest people I can think of that is, shows up at his house and goes through it. I'm still trying to figure out what that means.
And my God, I see the Sussex Squad and the Royal Sussex page on YouTube and the things they post, and that's where I found that disgusting video making fun of my father just because he's going to the Jubilee. I mean, and if you look on the Royal Sussex page on YouTube, you're going to see exactly whose it is. It's definitely Meghan Markle. And if it's not her personally, she's definitely paying somebody to do it.
Okay, so that was a little fun. It's just impossible for most of them to say the Sussex Squad. Anyway, it looked like he was about to bite into a head of iceberg lettuce, didn't it? The Sussex Squad. It looked like he was about to bite into a big head of iceberg lettuce. It seems like, incoming, I'm going to get a little shady. I'm trying to move through some of these slides since I put them together. Did you guys know I talked to Miss VSN today? I talked to Miss VSN right here on Royal Sussex. I'm still like starstruck. Okay, it seems the ridiculous, ugly, maniacal hyena grin is hereditary. What is meant by that? That means that is a trait that she picked up from her mother. Well, it gets even weirder. Do you guys know that Mumbelina's mom wears her clothes? Nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's good to recycle, but being such high profile women, a future queen, a former air hostess, and you're wearing each other's clothes? There you have it. It doesn't actually fit the same. As a matter of fact, that photo on the right, it appears as though somebody has gone past the 18th hour. I mean, that looks more like, I don't know, the 23rd or 24th hour. But yeah, it looks like someone has gone past the 18th hour. And they're looking a mite frumpy. But well, I mean, good on her that she can wear it. But that Pepto Bismol outfit is actually Kate's. And as you can see, it's a little risque. I wonder if Arthur Edwards took that photo where the sun is going through the dress. He loves to try to capture women like that. So he probably didn't, but I'm just wondering if that is an Arthur Edwards. So, okay. And then let's go here. As you can see, 2021, she wore that to go and visit a girl who I believe was terminally ill. And then there's her mother, the air hostess, wearing that same dress in 2022 to Royal Ascot. Very strange. But it wouldn't be shady if I didn't bring it up. So that's why I did. There's really no purpose other than me just being shady. And speaking of shady, there's this. So with everything that they have been saying about the Sussexes, take another look at how loving and delightful and how I guess royal couple of the future they appear at the Westminster Abbey. It's like a throwback to Charles and Diana's days of misery, if you ask me. Oh, and this is that last thing I wanted to share with you. Remember I said, oh, I'm so glad I saw this. I'm going to share it with you guys. Prince William at 40. There's 40-year-old Prince William entering St. Paul's Cathedral. He's a little worn down by all of the medals that he has received, all the honors he's received over the years. But there you can see the 40-year-old Prince William entering the St. Paul's Cathedral. So just thought I would share. Anyway, you guys, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm just trying to see who's coming up. Okay. I'm not sure. Let me see. I don't see Petal today, and I don't see Duchess of Success. I don't see anybody else coming up today, but yeah, so check your listings to see if anybody's coming up, but I don't see anybody else. But do check. Oh yeah, Miss VSN is coming up. We just established that, haven't we? That Miss VSN is coming up at, I think, 6 p.m. No, I'm sorry. Check the link. I have her link right there. So before I tell you the wrong time, just check the link. Okay. So with that, I am going to open it up to some last comments, and then we are going to avenger ourselves out of here. I need to find something else to do at the end of the thing, although I love the Ginger Avenger so much, but I think we need something else at this point. And also, let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to share from the video files. I think we're good with that. I've shared all the videos that I have to share. Okay. Yes, we're good. We are so good. And I could not find my Melissa Murray video, and I know I have it, and I just don't see it. Oh, well. Okay. So, any last comments, anyone? Let's see what you got here for me. Did anybody want to say happy birthday to 40-year-old Prince William? Is it Michelle says Queen's cousin who looks just like dead Queen's husband, also her cousin? I'm gonna have to start reading these first because I'm not sure what I'm walking into. But you're right. The Queen's cousin, who looks like her husband, who was also her cousin, who all are related to Queen Victoria. And oh, thank you, Sherry Ware. Thank you. You know, I was about to drift right past that. Woo! Okay, this has been a happy day. I am really, really enjoying today. Okay, so let me go to the list. And thank you guys for being so patient as I hem and haw my way through the thing today. Thank you so much for the kind and generous donations. DR, of course, who used the PayPal, and also Dina Nasser, Alma Andrews, Devani Gordon, Teresa 101, Karen, Phyllis Brooks, Stephen Black, Elaine Parker, Cypher, Legs, Black Queen, Nadine Burke, new membership, and Nanos, and Katrina Kim. Thank you all so much for the kind donations. Oh, that's from Sunday? Oh, yeah, that's from Sunday. Oh, yeah. Did I do it yesterday? I guess I didn't. And then for Monday, thank you so much, Dina Nasser, Alma Andrews, Devani. Oh, I see what you did here. Teresa 101. Okay, so that was actually from today. Yes, I think all of these are from today. I see what you did here. Thank you so much for that. Sherry Ware. I'm so sorry. I'm just making sure that, yeah, that's right. Just the wrong date. Yeah, you know, when it's a holiday like that, it throws everybody off. So again, thank you so much, Sherry Ware, for making the list of donation possible. And thank you for being a fantastic moderator, as well as the rest of our moderators who, you guys, I hate to brag, but I think I just have the best moderators. Church Nelly, Lydia Washington, Mo Shannon, Anastasia Isabella, Sherry Ware, Anna Espinoza, and Cookies and Cream. I mean, honestly, I feel so blessed. It is a powerful team against the Derangers. And I don't know if we had any trolls today, but if I need to go back to doing that thing that I did with the to block the trolls. I will definitely do that. Our next one, I just realized I did not do that, and we got that weird message about Ginger Avenger time. Yes, it is. Oh, Thrive! Thank you so much. Thrive is coming up later. Okay, thank you. I knew somebody had to be coming up. Oh, let me see. Wait. I did that wrong. Let me see. I can fix that. But trust me, this is not a Lucy and Ethel in the Chocolate Factory moment. I'm not that far removed from what I'm doing. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, Thrive with Harry and Meghan. She has been working very hard, you guys. She usually comes on at a time when I'm probably still prepping myself, and or it means I just woke up and have made breakfast. But there we go. I just pinned it so you guys can find her channel. Let me see. Black Queen says Meghan Avenger video. Yes. Okay. Black Queen, I'm going to tell you what happened. I was working on something with the white outfit, and for some reason, my computer got really glitchy. And I'm not even talking about the old one. I'm talking about the new one. Got really glitchy. And every time I tried to do a photo, it would start doing that pinwheel thing. So I think at this point, I should go back and be more patient. And if it takes a long time, it takes a long time. But that is an excellent suggestion. And thank you both. And I will continue to work on that. And it ought to be absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I think that we should have equal representation between the two Sussexes. I absolutely agree. Because let's face it, Meghan has brought an amazing community together. And even though we love Harry so much, it is because of Meghan that this community was solidified so long ago. And but we kind of look at them almost as though they're one person, but they're not. But, I'm just saying. Okay, so anyway, okay, so, and then there is, let's see if I can do that. Oh, I love the opening. I love the opening of Pure Entertainment, Team Sussex. I love that opening. I love that, and I love Special K's opening. So cool. So yes, check out those other platforms and make sure you support them. No bad energy. Thank you, Sherry Ware. That is our last comment of the day. Goodbye, everyone. No bad energy. Ginger Avenger time. Thank you, Sherry Ware. It is Ginger Avenger time. So thank you again, moderators. Thank you, Sherry Ware, for the list and also the last word of the day. And thank you to our faves, that I can't forget. Our Queen of Hearts, Princess Diana, and our Queen of Everything, Queen Doria. Okay, is next Ginger Avenger. All right. A million thanks, everyone. Love you guys. And cue Ginger Avenger. Okay. Remember, there are no leaks in Montecito. There are no leaks in Montecito. Oh man, I couldn't even get it out of my mouth without laughing. Let me see. You know what? I kind of need my harmonica for this, but I'm not going to bother. Trenchtown Man was singing his song. Hey, Prince. Hey, Prince.
Prince. Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?